Right, and welcome yourselves back to the YouTube channel, and today we are here for the 935 podcast. Hope you're doing well, and today I thought what better way to start than for you guys to understand what maps I enjoy from we're going all the way back to World at War. World at War in the formats, we got Black Ops all the way up to Moon, Black Ops 2 up to Origins. We got we're gonna be this one got Extinction in, so we got Extinction all the way up to Exodus, Advanced Warfare up to Descent, Black Ops 3 up to Revelations, Infinite Warfare up to Beast from Beyond. Then we got World War Two, I think it was the Final Reich, up to the Tortured Path or the Frozen Dawn to here. And then Black Ops 4. Then Cold War, I think, was all the way up to Mal der Toten. And then a few others that I have not played every single map. If I've not played the map, it will go in FFF. And obviously SSS, it means I think highly of it. And then below C is just something that just isn't that good. So, without further ado, subscribe like as always, and welcome back to the podcast. Let's go. So, starting off with the Untrodden. Um, I don't even know what these four are at the bottom. But Nachter Untoten. I think it is such a solid introduction. Very basic. But that's what it needed to be to introduce people to this zombie mode and the style that they were going to go with. And I think World at War was like, it went so perfectly with the Nazi storyline. So I think in the grand scheme of things, it was basic, it was good, it did what it needed to, and it was fun. So I think it belongs like there because it belongs in like your S tier, but it's not your SS tier, SS tier. So, 100%. But Rook is one of those ones. I think it's enjoyable. It's cool if you're playing with two or more people because you spawn on different sides of the map. Um, I just think you've it's cool, but it didn't do as much for me as Nactor and Totem did. And it's funny because growing up, I didn't really play the Rook that much until it got re-released on Black Ops. So in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to be a couple levels below Knack, but it's still a thoroughly good experience. The map is great, but it just doesn't do much for me. Shinonuma, I think, again, is better than Shinonuma is actually one. Is it? Because I think the concept again is good. You've got four doors that lead to four different perks. It's the first map with traps. No, it's not. It's the first map with different types of traps, like the swingy ones. It's got the electro ones like in Varrocked. I'm gonna put it in the middle. It's better than Varrocked because again it tries new things, but it's not as good as Knacked because I think nostalgia will probably play a part in it. But I think the one that finally goes above Knack is Derice. Derice is just absolutely fantastic. It's such a solid map. Again, it's the first map where they evolve again, where you get teleporters, you get the first wonder weapon in the Wunderwaffe, which I'm not a big fan of. But in World of War times, that was revolutionary. You know, with the ray gun and stuff. But like, I mean, a fresh ones, I think that was definitely deserves to be that high. Um, Kino is one of my all-time favorite ones. It To be in a movie theater, to have multiple avenues of where you get to the exact same point, to have Pack-a-Punch. Obviously, Derice was the first to do Pack-a-Punch, but you have Pack-a-Punch, Teleporter, so much room to maneuver, and I thought it was just a wonderful map, and there was so much fluidity to it because once you're up in the middle bit, you can go right or left, and there's perks on either side of the map. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Five, I've got to admit, the one thing that lets this map down, because as much as it's fun and exciting, as though you don't turn the power on, you'll never come across the Pentagon Thief. But I think it's a thoroughly enjoyable experience, and I'd put it alongside Shinonuma because the only thing that lets it down is the Pentagon Thief. But ultimately, I still think it's such a fun one. It's the worst version of Kino because they're the first two starting maps on Black Ops, but I think it was thoroughly good. Dead Ops Arcade, I think it's not. It's a fine experience. It's enjoyable, but it's nothing special. Ascension was one of those maps I could never truly get into. It was one of the biggest maps to not have an Easter egg, or it didn't have a big Easter egg, if you will, on Black Ops. I thought it was fun. I thought it was the monkeys were bloody annoying, but again, it added something to. So you weren't camping all the time. If you had a perk, they'd attack the perk and they would take the perk away until you basically, I think, shot them, killed them. But yeah, it was such a cool concept, but just not the one I played the most. Call of the Dead, I think, is one of the best maps there is. Um, the whole thing being on a movie set and the lighthouse and adding another wonder weapon and it had a Easter egg obviously where the main crew are trapped in that door and then you have George R. Romero George R. Martin George R. Romero. I think he was fantastic. And the fact you could kill him if you upgraded your gun so much, and it was one of those things that you survived so long, and it was this journey of wanting to kill him. Obviously, he'd return eventually, but it was such a fun map. Shangri-La, I've got to admit, I just didn't have a good time with this map. The baby gun was fun. The Easter egg is, once you finish it, it's a true accomplishment to find the focusing stone. But ultimately, there wasn't much to it. I thought the fire, what's it called? The fire zombie and the Screecher zombie. I think the concepts were cool. Again, the Egyptian vibe. I love Egypt, but it just wasn't that fun. There was too many traps. There was too much going on, and it was such a tight map. A lot of quality. You had to be really good to be on this map, I think. But yeah, I think the Easter egg was fun in places. Moon, 100% has to be an SDM map. It's such a fun map with obviously you've not got the gravity. Um, such a different map to we've ever dealt with. And the Easter egg blowing up the earth. The Easter egg was fantastic. The map was fantastic. It's just a perfect map. Transit. It's one of those maps that's aged better as it's gone on. The whole bus mechanic, the aftermath of Moon, the new crew, the Easter egg, the multiple paths that you can pick in Black Ops 2 of either Maxis or Richtofen. It was a terrific map. So much fun with your friends. The Denizens were annoying. The Avogadro was brilliant. I think it was a brilliant map. It just for what it was brilliant. But it wasn't anything higher than an A. Nuketown Zombies, a lot of fun, but it's just simple survival. Die Rise, I'm a huge fan of this map. I thought the Slickfire was cool. I thought the rooftop design and the China design, the map, and it just did a few different things like the upside down buildings and what was it called? The sleep bed there. It was a really fun map basically, and it obviously introduced Who's Who, a perk that wasn't the greatest, but it was just fun to see them start doing new and exciting stuff. I'm gonna drop it down because I'm gonna put Buried. I've skipped over on that. Buried in there because Buried was absolutely incredible. From Leroy, I think that was his name. Was that his real name? Or was it the name we all made up? The Witches, the Maze, the Raygun Mark II, the Paralyzer, the Easter egg. Fantastical. Mob of the Dead is easily one of the greatest maps of all time. The gangster vibe, the Blundergat is easily the greatest, in my opinion. Wonder Weapon, the Warden, the Tomahawk, the Hell's Redeemer, whatever it's called. I spent so many hours in this, and to get Hell's Redeemer and the Easter egg, and so fun. It was probably the last time I truly loved every second of a map. Maybe Origins, but Mob of the Dead for sure was just unreal. Speaking of Origins, if I can, oh, put it down there. That's why. Phenomenal staffs, giant robots, Panzer Soldaats, amazing Easter egg. Um, even the things that were annoying, like the tank and collecting the pieces or the mud. Um, but genius ending, incredible connection to leading into Black Ops 3. It was fantastic. It was unreal, and it was just a perfect way to end things, especially after we got buried in Origins so close to each other. My summer was just like two incredible maps back to back. And now we're going into the extinction maps. Point of contact, I'm actually going to put quite high because I thought for its originality, what it did, and the enjoyment factor I had, because I thought extinction is easily the greatest thing that isn't zombies, which obviously mostly isn't zombies. And now I have to remember, Nightfall was the guard gets killed at the start. This is like the first time the story comes into it. So they're drastically going to get worse. Mayday. I think they're on bar because Mayday was on the ship. I thought the boss fights were brilliant for both. I thought the concepts were cool. I thought the story was great. Weird that they named the main villain Samantha as well. I will be honest, only played like 10 minutes of this and I never played Exodus. Right now, this was my jam. Advanced Warfare Zombies. Because I loved, I went all the way through with Call of Duty Black Ops or to Black Ops 2 from World at War. I played Extinction. Um, Advanced Warfare came out, and I thought, and I loved it. Outbreak, very basic map, but the things they introduced were so cool, so fresh, so different. Like instead of the mystery box, it was a scanner. Um, and then you had Burgers. Burgers Town. I'm sorry, this is one of my favorite maps. It was so fun. It was so incredible. I always wondered I should always go back to these maps. I went back to Outbreak and Infection recently, and they're just so fun. I can't for the life of me remember these two. So this is on the boat. I think this is when Oz is the villain. But yeah, they were all playable. They were all great. They were all fun. That's what I take. This is gonna be controversial. I just don't really care much for this map. I think it's a good map. The Margwas are brilliant. I think it's easy to get around. It's easy to learn. I love the introduction of like using the Margwa type thing to open gates and beast mode. That's what it's called. Again, Easter egg was great. It had all the elements to be great, and it is great. It's just not my favorite map. The Giant is just as good as the Reed. It's just a cleaner cut. It's got a nice Easter egg, so you get the pistol out of the furnace, but it's just a cleaner cut. Dead Ops Arcade, again, all the Dead Ops are sort of just the exact same. All playable, all good, all fun. The Eisendrache, unreal. Basically Origins in the sense of you've got your bows, you've got your panzers, you've got all the stuff that makes a map great. Um, yeah, it was such a fun map, and the Easter egg was so good. Um, again, like there isn't many maps where I've had a phenomenal time where it's the Easter egg, it's the map, it's the wonder weapons, it's everything. It's funny because the Azure Origins, More Than Moon are four prime examples of having a good map, good wonder weapon, good Easter egg, good characters, just good everything. And Kid of the Toten is very unique to be in a situation where it's not got an Easter egg, it's just brilliant for what it is. Zetsumon no Shima, I think, is one of the most underrated maps of all time. It's not the top tier, but I think it's an S tier map in the sense of Easter egg is so good, it's so easy to do. I think the creatures that are included in this map are very unique. The spores are annoying, but then you got the spiders. It's just a fun map. And I think I had so much fun playing this in comparison to what other people did. Gorod Krovi has to be at the top as well. Introducing the dragons, the robots, like the flying things, evolving the Easter egg, the lockdown sequences. It was just an absolute blast. Black Ops 3 nailed it on maps. The Rising Drac, Grodd Krovi, The Giant, Zetsumon no Shima. and Revelations, which I wasn't a big fan of. It just tried to merge all the different combinations of maps. The Easter egg was fine, the boss fight was fine, but ultimately I just didn't really enjoy it that much. This is where a few of the things go off the boil that I didn't really play. Zombies in Spaceland, I think, was a very fun map. It's so fun for what it is, including David Hasselhoff, including the alien as like the villain that you face at the end. The Easter egg that's doable, some fun guns, fun 80s and 90s vibes. It was an absolute treat to be welcomed to Zombies in Spaceland. And it didn't really. I played Raven and Redwoods a little bit. It just fell off for me, and I did not play. It was weird because I love Zombie in Spaceland. I played Raven the Redwoods, but then I just fell off. I just didn't play the rest of them. And this is where my subtle fall off from Call of Duty happened. Again, I played the Final Reich and Ghost and House. I played both of them. They both just didn't do it for me. They were not that fun. Um, and I didn't play any of these. Blood of the Dead, I think, is thoroughly, thoroughly good. And not as good as Mob of the Dead, but I think it's still a very good map. Still has so much going through it. I think the expansion on what Mob of the Dead was. I just think because I loved the Blood of the Guy, I loved all the originality and how it felt on Black Ops. It basically did the exact same thing. I think I just loved playing as the mob characters as well. Classified was easily a better version of 5. Um, Again, it was fun, expanded areas on 5, and just enjoyable from the get-go. You could just jump in, not worry about the Easter egg or anything like that, and just survive. That's why I loved it. We don't have a lot of that anymore. Alpha Omega. I have not played this in a hot second. It was good. It was fun. It was fine. Again, like your Nuketown zombies, but obviously had an Easter egg. Tag the Totem. Tag the Totem. This was the Call of Dead remake again, which I didn't play much. For your despair, you go into the bottom. I love the Titanic story and all that sort of stuff with it. I thought, that's a bit harsh actually. I thought it was good. I thought as a starting map it was just overcomplicated and there was too much going on. Um, like, but yeah, it was fun. 9 was brilliant. Like the Gladiator vibe, the Tigers, it was absolutely. Oh. I think it's because 9 was so much better than Voyage, but a lot of people prefer. And I'm actually gonna do this. Dead of the Night is in my SSS tier. It was brilliant. It was fun. The werewolf vibe, being in this mansion, going in the gardens. Oh, I need to go back and play some of these maps. Actually, Dead of the Night was just so fun for me. Age of Evil, I think I have to give another chance to one day. I just couldn't get into it. I wasn't a big fan. Um, but again, it was very hit and miss that game for the story. Die Maschine, I thought it was such a. I'm putting this high because I thought it was a really, really good return to good zombies. Easy to pack a punch and, armor up and do the Easter egg and all that. I thought it was brilliant for that reason. The map was simple, it was great, and it just did everything you wanted it to. Going back to sort of its roots, and I still think we're overcomplicating what the roots of zombies is. Firebase C. I don't think I played much of it. Marder Toten, didn't play you, or you, or you. I don't know what this is. Getting newer. Um, no, I played a little bit of Liberty Falls. Yeah, guys, I think we're basically at the end. Yeah, because I've not really played Black Ops 7. Played a bit of Totem Rank. But anyway, guys, that is my list. You would probably question what would be the order of this. I think Marvel of the Dead is my favorite. Then the Eisendrache. Then Origins. Kino. Broad. No. Moon. Dead of the Night. Um, Yeah, that's what I'd probably go with. So, guys, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, leave a like. Let me know down below what your thoughts on this are. Maybe I'll go back and play a few of these games at some point very soon. Anyway, as always, we'll be back next week with another episode and maybe some gameplay from Call of Duty. Thanks so much as always, and goodbye for now.